At The Greater, we're always on your side. We've got this winning lineup of products and services ready to get you over the line. To kick goals for your finances, contact The Greater. Proudly supporting Newcastle and Hunter Rugby Union.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Doc's Pharmacies were established in 1988. We've been serving the Novocastrian community for over 25 years. Doc's Mega Safe Chemist is the only chemist in Newcastle open 16 hours a day. We open from 8 a.m. in the morning till midnight, 7 days a week.
We have 3 full-time pharmacists employed, plus we have 2 intern pharmacists. So there's always more than one pharmacist here to answer any questions that you may have.
We have over 16,000 lines in stock at any one time, so we have a huge range of products always available.
Within a 5-kilometre radius, we have a free delivery service.
We offer free personal health checks, prescription reminder services.
We do free blood pressure checks every day. We've got the widest range of stock, and anything we don't have, we can get for you the next day.
For more information on any of the services that we offer, please visit our website or like us on Facebook. Doc's Mega Safe Chemist is on the ground floor in Market Town Shopping Centre next to Woolworths.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
swimming,
basketball,
netball
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
and you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
Real guys, real sport, Bar TV.
Welcome everybody here live today, Saturday, round 3 catch-up round for Bar TV Sports. We're out here at Alan Davis Field for the first time today, for the first time for the season, as they've got the newly developed stand here for the Southern Beaches home ground. It's Southern Beaches taking on top of the table Hamilton, and with me today this glorious Winter's Day, Jimmy Gardner. How are you, Jimmy?
Thanks, Gav. Very good. Yeah, what a transformation they have done out here. I think a couple of $1 million spent and spent well. The service looks in magnificent conditions. We've got some new goalposts, a fantastic new amenities block here. Everything that a club could ask for, and certainly one that the Southern Beaches have worked very hard through lobbying local government, lobbying state government, and getting various grants to make sure it become a reality. And well done to them. It's first time I've been out here since the end of last season, and wow. Very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Of course, we got off with the guided tour later on. I know you'll probably have to go back and write a few yarns for the Newcastle Herald, but I'll probably take them up on that, Jimmy.
Yeah, it's great to see that some money is going into grassroots sports. As I said, this is probably the most dreaded trip to come out here. It was normally muddy and clay. And
it was ugly, wasn't it?
Yeah, the toilet block consisted of a 1930s built dunny, and that was about it.
With the same amount of toilet paper in there.
Exactly. It didn't have a real nice stench about it as well. So this is very modern, state of the art, and it's a real platform from Southern Beaches to grow again, because they sort of did plateau there for a little while. They were built on the back of a very strong junior base, and that's sort of plateaued the last couple of years. But now they've certainly got the infrastructure here to grow and get bigger. They made their first grand final last year, so they've taken a big step in the seniors. I think you'll see them really boom in the next couple of years.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a real test from here today, though. All grades have won here early on, so which is a big boon for the Beaches side. They'll be very confident coming into the main game here for the match of the round with Bar TV and the greater NHRU competition. Speaking of undefeated, we had a good chance earlier in the week to get out to the grounds, and we had a good chat to ex-captain now, Ivan Walkling. We'll just cut to that now and have a look what Ivan had to say. Welcome everybody for Bar TV's Match of the Round. Hamilton Hawks, undefeated at the top of the ladder, taking on Southern Beaches, who have a bit of a resurgence here. With me at the moment is Hamilton ex-captain, Iffen Varkling. How are you, Iffen, is it?
Das is good, yeah, good. Thank you, mate.
Can I just get you to look into the camera?
Yep.
Straight? Yeah, very good. Anyway, you're the form halfback of the competition. How's that going?
Oh, mate, it's not the form halfback. I think it's the form team. The forwards are going forward and the backs are getting over the advantage line most of the time, so that really makes my job a lot easier.
Very good. I like your tricky little box kicks as well. It's a Bar TV favourite. You've been working on them?
Yeah, I come down early most Thursdays and do my box kicking, but most of the chat comes from the outside from Sorelli. He's the one who commands the box kicks, whatever they are, so he just lets me know.
Very good. We'll cut you off there, sorry. And anyway, you've been dropped from the captaincy. Apparently a bit of a temper. Is that the Eastern European coming out in you?
Yeah, that's it, mate. I don't deal with the referees too well when a few things don't go my way. I take it out on myself mostly, and then last week on the team, so that was a big thing that sort of doesn't help me. But yeah, just passion for the game, and I want to do really well for the boys too, so that's what it's about.
Come closer. Now, Bubba Coleman, he played you a breakaway for a year or so there.
Yeah.
Any chance of going back into the forwards?
Yeah, as the age goes up, I suppose the numbers should. So when Chris Coleman comes back, I might go back to halfback.
Yeah, very good. So who's captain this week?
It'll be Joey or Steve, or definitely not myself.
Yeah, very good. So a few options out there by Coach Bubba Coleman, of course, master tactician. How are you guys going to play the game today?
We'll play hard and fast like we always do, and hopefully we'll come away with a win.
And get a drink from the bird bath?
No, that's saved for special occasions, weddings, weekends, stuff like that. So every other weekend, we'll say.
And who's the holder of the bird bath these days?
Well, Damien Wells has gone missing lately, so anyone who wants to volunteer from within the Hawks ranks, more than welcome.
Very good. There you have it, everyone, for Bar TV. Ivan Walkling, the former captain of the Hamilton Hawks, couldn't get the actual captain tonight because it's undecided. Very good. Thanks very much, Ivan, and all the best.
Cheers, mate. No worries. Have fun. Thank you.
Yes, welcome back, everybody. Ivan Walkling, one of the true characters of this NHRU competition. Of course, not captaining the side today, so I guess Steve Lamont will probably come in to that role, or maybe even Joe Ackersdyke. Have you heard anything, Jimmy?
Oh, I think Steve Lamont, when he's here, he's the captain. He's certainly the club captain. He led them last year and the year before in the grand final. So I'd be very surprised if it's not Steve. But I mean, they got a heap of leaders in that team, haven't they? You mentioned Joe Ackersdyke and of course Ivan Walkley. Rob Smith, I think, is captain back in England, so there's plenty of senior men there they can call on. So it's just really a matter of who chats to the referee the most and who tosses the coin at the start. But they're all leaders in their own right. Yeah, both these sides as well. They've started to hit. Hamilton for sure. They're undefeated. They've been in form all season. But Southern Beaches have started to come good now through this middle part of the season. They've been pretty impressive over the last few weeks, and now they're back into the top five, which I think is where they belong, Jimmy. Oh, there's no doubt they'll be there towards the end of the season, that's for sure. Yeah, they inexplicably, really, they started with 3 straight losses. But I guess when you consider they didn't have this base, they were training virtually under portable lights and in difficult circumstances without a home base. Yeah, that's going to play part to a rough start. Plus, they had a pretty tough draw early. They had Wanderers, I think, early in the Waratahs when they were just coming good. So if you look back at last year, I think they lost 3 of their first 4. They won the first game and then lost the next 3, and they ended up playing in the grand final. So I think Tim Chidgey has intentionally started them a bit later. In previous seasons, they were gun-ho starting in October, and they were getting flat and running out of puff come August. So it's worked for them in the past, and you can just see them starting to build. The last 3 weeks, they've won 3 games. They have been against teams lower on the ladder, but I guess other than the late Macquarie game, the most impressive thing has been their defence. That's the area they had to work on, and talking to Bar Talaleva during the week, that's an area that they've really focused on this week in particular, because they know that Hamilton can really hurt them if they give them a little bit of space. Yes, of course, and 2 very astute coaches as well leading the helm. Scott Coleman for the Hamilton Hawks side and Tim Chidgey, who unfortunately isn't here today. Do you think that's going to affect the Southern Beaches side? Oh, for sure. I mean, whenever your head coach is not there, it is a different voice, but still, Tim's a very matter-of-fact person. He speaks his mind, and he gets his own little world around those players, and they really draw to him like a magnet. I mean, there's been a few rumblings outside the club about some political side kicking and about an attempted coup at some point, I've heard. But it's everywhere, though, isn't it? From what I've heard, that couldn't be further from the truth. They've since Tim's come to this club, he's really turned them around. He does put in structures. He relies heavily on game plans and have everything ironed out to the exact minute. And I expect this to be no different. He will have Kane Quinlan. I think Kane Quinlan will have a check sheet he'll have to go through prior to kick-off. And, of course, Vartalaliva does all the leading on the field anyway. So I think they'll be very prepared. They'll be even more meticulous than they are on a normal Saturday. And while Tim's not here, and that will definitely have an impact, I think they'll certainly have them in those support areas to get the job done.
Yes, definitely. And as we talk through the pre-match stuff for the greater NHRU round 3 catch-up round, it's the Queen's birthday weekend. We can see the Hamilton side now going into the sheds. Now these two sides, they're very good at the set piece, at the scrum. Do you think around here this is where it's going to be won? We saw Southern Beaches in the game we covered last time. Their line-out probably wasn't the best of what they wanted.
Yeah, and I mean, it all starts for both teams from the set piece, doesn't it? Hamilton have really prided themselves on their set piece the last 5 or 6 years, really. Their scrum started a bit shaky last week against Wanderers, but by the end of it, they were the ones that were controlling the set piece. Certainly at scrum time, they had Wanderers reeling and getting them, lifting them up through the middle on the occasion. I think you'll see Southern Beaches will be very physical. They'll try and, for want of a better word, bash Hamilton. They'll try to set their authority early. They've got some big boppers in the front row, a very big tight 5. They've certainly got the edge in terms of weight, I would suggest, and they'll look to assert that area there. Glenn Stone's one that will come in and do most of the work of the line out for Southern Beaches, whereas Hamilton have got 3 or 4 guys they can use, and that's where it helps when on the defensive line. They've got 3 or 4 options they can throw up to try and disrupt some Southern Beaches ball. So I think that'll be an area that they will certainly look to aim some men at and some numbers at Hamilton, and the set piece wise looks a pretty even Steven on paper, but I think we'll get an impression, not necessarily from the first 3 or 4 scrums, but maybe the last 2 or 3 in the first half. Yeah, definitely. We'll go through the sides now here for this catch-up round for the great NHRU. Firstly, we'll go through the away side, the Hamilton Hawks. The front row, the props today, Peter Bakarich and Fave Seal, with Chris Pusey being the hooker. Our second row is Chris Nagy and Sam Brennan. Breakaways, Steve Lamont, who's also captain, and Shuti Asai, the open side break, the blind side breakaway. Joe Ackersdyke playing at number 8. Ivan Walkling, the halfback. Jason Keelan, the 5'8". Our centres today, Rob Smith and Vasagotti is the outside centre. So Cirilli, Banavalu, Tana Lautai are the wingers, and Eric Vasakikakaku is the fullback. As mentioned, Scott Coleman is the coach. And if you can take us quickly through the Southern Beaches side, Jimmy. Yeah, the 2 front rowers are Tyson Watuni and Barcelona Lupa Matasila. The hooker is Ben Chidgey. In the second row, I think there is one change. Ryan Ellis, I understand, is out with a calf injury. And Nick Rickard comes in there. Matthew Lanzini is the other second rower. The back row is Chris Wadsworth, Glenn Stone and Vartalaliva, who is also captain. Halfback is Lavalia Far, 5'8" Mark Butler. In the centres, we have Michael Delore and KG Lamb. The wingers are Andrew Delore and Talima Nevo. And the fullback is Adrian Delore. Coach, of course, Tim Chidgey. He's resting up in hospital, I think, as we speak. Kane Quinlan will certainly take the clipboard today, assisted by coach, captain as well, Vartalaliva. And And the referee, of course. Let's say it together. Des Gilbert. One of our favourites. Yeah, he's a Bar TV favourite, Des Gilbert, the man who originally hails from New Zealand. And going through that side, as you mentioned, there's not too much difference between the two teams, between the two lineups. For mine, I think the centre pairing of Rob Smith and Vasagotti may be what wins it for Hamilton today. Yeah, certainly. They're both big line breakers, aren't they? They're both big, hard boys. And Michael Delore's a very good defender, but KG Lamb's only quite slight. So I wouldn't be surprised if they maybe reshuffle things defensively and maybe get someone there with a bit bigger body in there to try and aim up on him. If you look at Southern Beaches, they've brought back 4 players this week that they sat out last week against Singleton. Both front rowers were rested. Adrian Delore also had a niggle. And I think one of the second rowers also, they just rested to have them primed and ready for this game. So there's no doubts they've been gearing up for this for 3 or 4 weeks now. And I expect this to be a real blockbuster, a real belter. Early exchanges in particular could be dynamic. Yeah, definitely. And the back row of the Hamilton Hawks, they always get a lot of credit. But I tell you what, the back row of this Southern Beaches side with Glenn Stone and Chris Wadsworth helping out with Vartalaliva, of course, we all know what he can do. But they're very underrated, Jimmy. Yeah, particularly. I mean, Glenn Stone's one we've mentioned before on Bar TV. He's really come on the last 12 months. He hailed from down the northern end of Central Coast. I think down near Doyleson, I believe. I couldn't think of it. I was thinking of the RSL, but I couldn't think of anything else. He's from one of 4 or 5 guys that have come up from that area the last 3 years. He's really grown in stature. The matchup I'm really looking forward to is the 2 number 8s, Var Talaluva versus Joe Ackers. Like, if you remember back to 2012, Grand Final, Var was playing for Hamilton at the time. He got injured leading up the semi-final. Joe Ackers took his place, and he had such an impact that Scott Coleman left Var on the bench for the Grand Final, which of course they won. Next season, Var Talaluva ends up at Southern Beaches. Now, I'm not saying those 2 things are linked, but they are 2 fantastic players who are both real leaders of their team.
Yes, it's a good old case of the apprentice becoming the master there with the 2 number 8s out there. But for mine as well, the front row of Southern Beaches, to me, looks a little bit stronger than the Hamilton side. I think Peter Backrich, he gives up a lot of weight, as we speak about each week. He's fabulous around the park, but, I mean, the Southern Beaches side have a really big pack, a monster pack, one might say.
Yeah, without doubt. It's been a real baptism of fire for Ben Chinchi too this year. He's sort of played a couple of games the last 2 or 3 years in first grade, but this year he's basically been the hooker from the get-go. This will be a real test for him.
As we see now, the Southern Beaches side entering Alan Davis Field for the first time this year. Their newly redeveloped home ground, and the crowd is going absolutely wild. It's a massive day here. Are we at Gateshead? Are we at Belmont or are we at Window? We're on the cusp.
Gateshead. We're on the cusp. We're in the heartland, mate.
We're right in the middle of Southern Beaches area as the Hamilton Hawks now enter the fray. As we mentioned, Steve Lamont, the captain there for the Hamilton Hawks, leading his side out. Referee Des Gilbert comes onto the field. The crowd is humming. And it's a picturesque ground, isn't it? The ground looks absolutely immaculate. The grass is freshly turfed, obviously, but it's a great facility out here, Jimmy.
I was expecting it to be boggy given the rain we've had the last month, and even with that rain again on Thursday evening, I believe. I thought it was going to be nice and boggy out here, but it's nice and hard. There's good coverage of grass, no bare patches. It's you couldn't ask for better conditions. The sun's still out. The breeze is not much to speak of. If anything, it might just be a gust, a whisper, I guess you would say, but it certainly won't have an impact on this game. All the ingredients for a fantastic top 5 affair.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've covered a couple of night games this week, and the conditions are much more conducive for some free-flowing rugby, which both these teams are capable of playing. For mine, Sorelli on the wing there. I hear he's been recalled into the countryside as well. Just a bit of breaking news there for you with I think the death of Jerry Collins, the country winger at the moment, is his cousin. So he's obviously had to go back to the funeral. They haven't been able to get in contact with him, and Sorelli will be notified after this match that he'll be in the country team too.
Well, certainly, you give him a yard and he'll take you for a 5-point try. That's what he'll do. We saw that against Wanderers last week. He got a couple of sniffs and they both resulted in 2 tries. So he's a real flyer, and he's one that Southern Beaches will need to be up in on top of.
So there we go. It's kickoff here at Alan Davis Field, and both sides go up it. And it's won there by the Hawks, and Fave Sealer comes down with it. The big prop forward. Walkling's at the back, and it's a little bit scrappy, but taken nicely there by Brennan it was. Gets through a mountain of work, does Brennan. Ackersdyke calling for it, but goes wide straight away. Vasagotti with it. Lautai now taking the ball in. Vasakikaku on his outside, but chose to go himself. It's a penalty early on here at Alan Davis Field, and this game looks like it's going to be an absolute cracker here with both sides going at it straight away.
Certainly a frenetic pace to start with there. Great restart there from Jason Keelan. Got a lot of height under it, gave his forwards enough time to get under that ball. They put enough pressure on for the Southern Beaches player to spill the beans, and Saba was there to pick it up, and from there they just recycled it quickly, went one face to the right, then they spread it. I think you might see that early. They're really going to test the defensive measure, in particular KG Lamb. I think they're going to test him out early, run a lot of traffic at that outside centre channel.
Yes, well, Keelan, perfect record last week against the Wanderers with his kicking boots, so he's going to take the shot at goal with less than 2 minutes on the clock. So a good chance for Hamilton to get on the scoreboard early here.
And geez, didn't he strike him well last week? Just from the moment they left the boot, there was never any doubt that any of those those attempts he took last week were going anywhere but over that black dot.
Well, if he's the golfer, it would have been a perfect round.
And he's really matured as a footballer too. I think it's taken him, this might be his 3rd or 4th year at rugby. He's obviously a rugby league background now. He really understands the game, and he can manage the game now from 5'8". It's not just his kicking. as he, again, I put the mocker on him. He's missed that one.
Yes, we do tend to do that here at Bar TV. So, unfortunately, there the Hamilton fly half Keelan, who, as you mentioned, he's been very impressive. And for mine, he's the form 5'8" in the competition, hands down by far. And he's the reason why, or one of the reasons why, this Hamilton Hawks side is undefeated so far this year. And that's a nice restart there as the Beaches come through on it. Oh, that's a good take there by Beaches as they go forward on it. It was Rickard, I believe. And here's Big Barcelona taking the ball forward. Good run by him. He's an absolute wrecking ball when he gets it. As he Afoia at the back there, and he's juggled that one. And
yeah, Ben Chingy just had a little look there. The defence rushed up, and he was unable to. They hit him in the middle. They turn over the ball nice and quickly here with Big Eric on the outside.
Yeah, Vasaki Kaku with it, taking in good defence by the Beaches. They realigned really well there and came back to make something of this. Hamilton's going to have to do something with it. Des Gilbert.
Yeah, they just did well there to recover their Southern Beaches. They got their arms under that, and it was a maul, and Hamilton were not able to get the ball to the back. A lot of their forwards, I know, is just coming over to the breakdown now. They're obviously caught out wide, so their backs weren't able to recycle that possession. Just had a look at Barcelona, and since we've seen him last, I reckon he's shed probably 5-6 kilo. Looks like he's got a little bit of fitness about him. With that in mind, I think he will be one they'll really look to put a dent in the Hamilton defensive line.
Yeah, definitely. I think. And it's always the case with the bigger guys.
He's still a big boy, don't get me wrong, but he just looks like he's carrying it a little bit better. Admittedly, it has only been a first couple of minutes, but he just looked a little bit more dynamic in his run there.
Well, he's got an apt replacement in Willie Fraser that can come off the bench as well.
I noticed in second grade too, Willie So, who was at Southern Beaches last year, now back at Hamilton where he went to after East. So I guess there was a little bit of feeling too in that game in second grade. It sounded like a couple of Southern Beaches players maybe remind him of where he was at and where he'd left. So I expect there to be quite a bit of banter and a bit of feeling between these two teams, which will carry over into the first grade fixture.
So the Beaches side
first scrum
set nicely. A little bit of depth there, so...
Yeah, good body position this time on Barcelona. That was one area when we watched him against Wanderers. He was getting bent in and getting angled in on, but he looked nice and strong there on this side.
Yeah, so they lose their feet, though, on Fave Sealer's side for the Hawks. Des Gilbert just having a chat over on the far side to Watini. And, gee, it's a big front row, isn't it?
It is indeed. I mean, Tyson Martini also played at Hamilton last year, so there's been quite a bit of trading places, if you like, between the front rows of Hamilton and Southern Beaches the last couple of years. But he probably gives Seba a little bit lighter than Seba on that other side, so I guess it's opposites attract when it comes to the opposing front rowers here. We've got
Folia feeding the ball, picks it up from the back. Gilbert says play on. Long ball out to Lamb. Lamb with the dummy. He's electric, Lamb. But pulled down nicely there by the Hawks around the bootlaces.
I think it was Ivan Walkling got across and made that tackle. No, it was Rob Smith. Great tackle right around the boot. It needed to be made just quietly as they ruck it up from the back of the ruck.
Yeah, speaking of Paul Dan before the match, they really rate the work he does in defence there. As VAR to Lever taking the ball, flick pass to Lamb. Lamb gets a little ball to Delore. Delore tripped. Vasakika Kaku.
Yeah, he's got it. The touch, he's got it. No, the touch, he's got it. Tweedy just stuck out that.
And Bakaric has been absolutely belted as Walkling gets the ball away. Yeah, the touch judge is having a word here to Gilbert.
Yeah, he tried to get away, tried to be subtle there, Tweedy Assey, just as Andrew Delore, chipped ahead and cut back on the inside, but Tweedy just stuck his little foot out and just clipped him enough to knock him over, but the touch judge was right on the spot, and it looks like Southern Beaches will certainly get, at the very least, a penalty from this.
Yes, definitely, and Gilbert, as you see on our Bar TV screens, of course, the greater NHRU competition. As we go shortly to the replay, the trainers coming out and bringing the water out. As you can see from your screens, it's quite a humid day out here as Vasakika Kaku with it gets a ball here to Bakaric, and Bakaric gets absolutely hammered there, but to no avail with Walkling kicking it away. It was a penalty, and it's going to be brought back, I think, over to the mark where the touch judge is about 5 metres in, 22, just over the 22.
Yeah, it certainly will be a great platform for Southern Beaches to launch an attack here.
Yeah, he's having a good chat there to Lamont. I don't think there's any reason to think there'll be a card for it.
No, I don't think it was sinister. I thought it was he thought he might. He thought he'd just stick that little slipper out. All it did was put Andrew Delors. There's so many Delors in this team. I'm getting tongue-tied every time.
Scores of Delors.
Scores of Delors. Mark Butler here looks like he may be in a hurry to take this nice and quick. Just making sure Hamilton are retreating their 10 metres.
So Butler now with the ball. Butler, another one who's an impressive fly half in this great NHRU competition.
Yeah, in his second season out here from Ireland, played a lot of Gaelic football, very strong kicker of the football, as you would expect, and also very strong when he takes it to the line. I like him. He's got a bit of game about him.
Yeah, so Michael Delors playing at inside centre. Andrew Delors on one wing.
Yeah, great take, great line out throw. Ben Chidgey hits his first one. A lot of confidence from that.
Good, as you said, Jimmy, as they control it well at the back. Through Barcelona. Barcelona taking the ball forward. Has he scored? Yes, he has. The big man, Barcelona, scoring the first try here at Alan Davis. And that's a great forwards try, Jimmy Gardner.
Yeah, I thought Barcelona might have taken that off a little bit early there because they were rumbling forward. Their ball was at the back and they had Hawks on their heels. I thought he's taking this too early. He's not going to get there, but he just showed great strength. He's such a big unit and he's so powerful. It took 3 or 4 of them to try and stop him, but they couldn't. Ball down in a flurry of legs and arms, and yeah, great start for Southern Beaches. Perfectly executed line out, perfectly executed move. As we see, they go to Glenn Stone. He pulls it down. Barcelona on the ball like a dog on a bone as they just keep trucking it forward. Little legs. He's got the ball at the back, and the halfback gives him a tap on the bum. He says, "Off you go, big fella," and away he goes. Carries 2 before him. They couldn't stop him from getting the ball down. Great try, great start to the home team.
Yes, very, very good, and it was almost the perfect line out. We've seen a few attempts this year on the Bar TV screens at the rolling maul off the line out. Not many teams can execute it, but that was executed almost to perfection here at Alan Davis. So Butler, as you can see on the screen, the number 10, looking to kick. He sets the ball up oddly, one might say.
Yeah,
it's not straight, but he doesn't have any trouble with it at all as it sails over.
And that'll be a great confidence boost to Ben Chidgey. Last time we saw him against Wanderers, he really struggled to hit that 6 ball in particular. His line-out throws was off that day. The conditions were a lot more difficult. There was a bit southerly going on that day, and I think some of their line-out options were poor that day, but he'll gain a lot of confidence out of that, particularly after dropping that ball early. The set piece is what he has to control, and that's a good start for him.
Yeah, Keelan tried to punch that one nice and flat off the restart. Now Vasagotti, they've got the chance here to counter-attack as Assai taking it forward. And here goes Sorelli. Sorelli opens up. Sorelli's got a few to beat, and he's taken nicely there by Vartaliva. That's a textbook tackle by him. And the ball coming out now. Smith with it. Vasagotti gets away from one. He gets pulled down, though, on the far side. As Walkling gets there, they go short side again. Ackersdyke with it. It goes to ground. And Walkling's going to have to dive on it.
Yeah,
no one's keen to get it, but it's going to be called knock on here by Des Gilbert.
It was a great play there from the Southern Beaches wing, and Nuvo, he rushed up out of the line to shut that down. Had the ball got outside him, I think they would have been in down that right touchline, the Hawks, but it was a great read, great play, and it paid off for him.
I'll tell you what, that was a great hit as well by Vartaliva in back play, just looming, waiting for the kick return.
He's looks like the halfback's down at the moment. I thought it was Vartaliva there for a second, the man you were talking about, but I think it's the number 9. Just waiting to get some attention. Looks like he's got a lower leg issue. Chance for both teams to take a breath, particularly the forward packs.
Oh, it's been quick, hasn't it?
Yeah, and
as we go to the replay, sorry, Jimmy, and a good play there by Assai as Sorelli now opens up. He gets through and boom, that's copybook stuff by Vartaliva. I don't know how he was back there, but he was back there.
It was like a kelpie, wasn't he, chasing a stray sheep. He just got straight around his legs and asked him straight to ground.
Looks like a bit of knee trouble out there. I tell you what, I don't know much about Lavali Afoia, but he's been impressive when we've covered the games. Do you know much about him, Jimmy?
I know he's been out here a couple of years. I think he started out at Hamilton last year. I think he may have been Again, I'm
swapsy.
No, I think there was a link there with Ubasa Faili, who obviously played at Hamilton last year. I think he might be related. He might be a cousin. He went to Hamilton, and I think he played mainly lower grades there, and maybe drifted away halfway through the season. He's popped up here, and yeah, he looks like he's got the makings of quite a solid player. He's a big boy for a halfback, so he can certainly do a little bit of the tough stuff as well. Service, haven't seen that much of him yet, so interesting to see what sort of pass he's got. If he's anything like his cousin, or certainly like Vasa, he'll be one to keep, because he had a bullet pass and was certainly one of the best halfbacks we've seen in this region for some time. But he's certainly powerfully built and nice leg drive.
He's very, very quick as well. I've seen him on the highlights for Bar TV, which of course you can watch during the week, but he always seems to be able to get from the back of the breakdown and just get through that pillar and post with some quick play and get up the middle of the field. As they go now for another scrum. So the first scrum out there, a little bit scrappy by both sides.
Yeah, both teams just sort of struggling to hold the weight, not through the binds are right, but this one looks nice and solid to start with. A good hit there from the Hawks. Boochers now counter that.
And that's what we like to see, is the Hawks come up with it. Keelan with it. Oh, long ball to Vasa Kaku, and I thought he was going to get upended there, but he showed good strength. Oh, nice hands by Lamont Smith with it. Gets a ball away to Vasa. He steps inside. Could have gone outside. Oh, the ball touched there by Delore, but Sorelli looked like he was away for all money. I thought Vasagotti could have gone a bit of an overs line and drew and passed.
Yeah, it was a flat ball, wasn't he? And he was a bit flat-footed. He wasn't hitting it at a pace like we normally do. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication here, but no doubt both teams are here to play today, aren't they? They're both testing their arm nice and early.
Yeah, definitely both sides. The back lines look electric, don't they, at the moment?
First line out here for Hamilton, again in a good position to attack from, although they're fairly flat, their back line here. They go short. Horrible throw by Steve Lamont.
That is one of... He had a few troubles last week with his line out too, Jimmy. That's a good run there by Butler, taking the line on, getting his team out of trouble. Good counter-rucking by the Hawks, though.
Yeah, you can see Steve Lamont there. He was very keen to have an impact there after that poor throw. As you mentioned, the halfback takes a little dart from the base of the ruck. Gets the ball back.
Yeah, not making too many yards now, so the Beaches side are going to have to pick and drive here. As Afoia tastes a little bit of the dirt. So they're set to the right here. And that's a nice kick downfield by Butler. Over Cirilli's head, but he gets back there. So Vasa Kaku with it now. Lautai on the far wing. Could be trouble here as Vasa Kaku trying to put something on. He does. He's still going, the big man. He's still going. Gets a ball inside to Bakarich. And Bakarich passing to his opposite number there, Watini.
Maybe he's called for it. They obviously played together in the front row last year, so I imagine. But geez, that was a poor kick chase by Southern Beaches. 2 or 3 of them went up, and it was just a simple run around from Vasa Kaku, and he was down that right touchline. He had the ball one hand like a basketballer, similar to the way he set up a try last week against Wanderers. It looks like a replacement here going on for Southern Beaches, number 22 coming on. So maybe
as we go now and have a look at the replay.
He just loops around here, and the lines, if they just get caught too easily there at Southern Beaches. That defender was too slow getting up. He got on his outside, showed it one way, showed it the other. Inside ball, and Tyson Martini calls it off. Pete Bakarich, sure. Cool as you like. Yeah, it looks like the halfback. He's coming from the field, head down, looks very disappointed. So that knee problem obviously might be something structural there for him to again, I put my doctor's hat on, Dr. Gardner.
So, I can't quite see who.
I don't think it's Marshall Hemipo that's gone on, no, for sure.
It might be the Colt halfback in Mitchell Wesley. So we go now to another scrum. You see Bakarich with the maroon headgear. So Donaldson, the man, coming on. Fly half normally.
And that could be a big turning point in this match because Ivan Walkling, the opposite number 9, is very cagey, very competitive. He'll be nipping at his heels every scrum, every ruck, putting some pressure on there certainly. So big call this one, big moment in the game. You don't like to lose anyone early, particularly a halfback. He's such a controlling factor. He has his hands on the ball more times than anyone. He directs his forwards. There's a lot of pressure here on young Donaldson. I don't know much about him, but I hope he's up to it.
Yeah, I'm surprised Hamopo didn't get a start. He had an absolute wow of a game in second grade. He was probably one of the standouts.
And he has played plenty of first grade before, so
maybe an injury
call.
concern with him as well. So now the Southern Beaches are defending. Hamilton backline set very deep here as Keelan with it. Oh, brings Lautai on the inside. Lautai getting dragged down though.
Yeah, they need quick
They've still
ball.
got numbers here. Keelan flat ball to Smith. Smith to Sorelli. Sorelli to Vasakika-Kaku. Vasakika-Kaku over in the corner. So the Hamilton side for their first try of the match, Jimmy.
Yeah, good reply, wasn't it? It all came from a little half break, or a bit inside ball, really, wasn't it, Talita? He bent the defensive line, got over the ad line. They sucked in a couple of defenders, and it was just a simple case of shifting it to the left. They always had that extra man, and when Vasakika-Kaku gets the ball, it's going to take more than one to stop him, and he was just too big and strong and playing it down in the left corner. As we have a good look at it now. Keelan, nice flat ball. Rob Smith holds it up. Quick hands from Bonabalu. Little goose step, just powered through that last defender. Easy try.
Yeah, catch and pass did that. So Keelan now with the kicking tee, throwing it away in disgust. Mick McKinley bringing out the wrong kicking tee, so the Hamilton stalwart getting a mouthful from his fly half. I don't know what McKinley's doing out there.
Well, he's certainly going to retrieve the ball. Sure.
The old big dog, as we mentioned, the Hamilton stalwart.
Geez, he does some work for the Hawks, doesn't he? Big dog. He was a hard man to tackle, and he's a hard man to pin down in terms of the Hawks. If they lost him, they'd be in a world of strife. He does lots of their social activities. He runs their game day. I think he's the Hawkeye. If he's not, he's certainly heavily involved. He's a he's a man that every club needs.
As Delore comes and tries to spoil the kick, and he's done a good job because Keelan, the man last week who couldn't do a thing wrong, he's missed 2 from 2 now. So the score now, Beaches 7, Hamilton 5 in the greater NHRU Round 3 catch-up weekend.
Forward set up here on the left for Southern Beaches. I expect Mark Butler will go that way, have the Hawks looking straight into that sun with one that brings some dust down on it. It's nice and high.
And here comes
Brennan
Stone.
under it.
Well, that's a good kick again there by Butler, but knocked back, says Des Gilbert.
Yeah, fair call. They got away with that one, the Hawks.
So Keelan with it now. Vasakika-Kaku. He's turning them inside out, isn't he, at the moment? The big Fijian. They've got numbers here. And here goes Sorelli again. He gets through one. Can he get a ball away? No, he can't. Unfortunate there. Walkling with it. Oh, I thought that may have been offside as they go now to Nagy.
Oh, he was wrapped up nice and early by Talaleva too. Great defence from KG Lamb too. A tackle that had to be made on Bonabalu, and he did it as Keelan takes it to the line.
Beaches looked a little bit offside as well there as now Lamont with it. He's steaming up. He's made a break. Lamont, he's got numbers on the outside, but takes the tackle.
Yeah, that'll test that hamstring. He's out for sure as Ackersdyke again trucks it up. They're making easy yards here, the Hawks.
Yeah, very lacklustre defence at the moment by Beaches as Assai takes the ball into the next breakdown. So it goes behind Lamont. Sorelli with the ball. Sorelli will score a try, and that is a great short ball there by the 5'8" Keelan to Sorelli. All he had to do was hit the hole, and I tell you what, he hit it.
And hasn't this game been turned on its head in the space of 5 minutes? Beaches had all the running in that first 10, 15 minutes. They scored a good try, but then all of a sudden, the Hawks have really made some damage out wide. They've shown their hand nice and early. They've shifted it to the left on 2 occasions now. Both times they've come up with rewards. That was a lovely little short ball from Jason Keelan. And, of course, you wouldn't want anyone hitting onto the ball other than Sorelli Bonabalu, and he was away.
Yes, he's probably one of the quickest in the comp as we go now. We see Assai taking the ball into contact. Ball going behind Lamont, and boom, just a nice little sleight of hand there by the fly half Keelan. So this one, a little bit easier for him, straight in front to get his kicking boots back on, as he doesn't even bother taking a run up there. Just one step back and kicking it. Casual Keelan, I think they call him at the Hawks. So now the Southern Beaches crowd a little bit quiet here. They're a bit stunned. The Beaches side, as you said, came out firing. There's a little bit of a hush here.
Southern Beaches brains trust just at the southern end of the ground behind the goalpost there. Kane Quinlan got his arms folded. He wouldn't have liked what he's seen the last 5 or 6 minutes. More so the defence. I mean, they made a couple of good cover tackles, but then they just didn't get their line back intact. And once you got a couple of holes in that defensive line, a team like Hamilton will just exploit it, particularly with a clever player like Jason Keeling. He's just spotted that little hole, and Bainabale was through.
Oh, that's a great kick there by Butler. Plenty of hang time, and Lamont goes up for it. I think it was Stone on the far side that has won it here for the Beaches. So here they go again. Now Butler makes a little half break here. Butler's still going, and Smith takes him nicely. England versus Ireland there. As Vartaliva putting his hand up again. Oh, was that a step I saw from Taliva? We don't see that too often by the
You normally used to the Samoan side step from him straight over the top of people, but they had some numbers there on the right too, Southern Beaches. But now, this is what Hamilton are so good at. When they've been half broken, they just reset their line. They slow the recycle down. They're able to get their defensive line set.
Oh, Barcelona gets a little short ball away under pressure. Probably wasn't expecting that Lamb. And now it's Watsini taking it forward for the Beaches side.
Smith's all over this ball.
Yeah,
great
nice,
steal.
Nice work by the Hamilton side, but it's anyone's at the moment. And Hamilton do come up with a good work there by the halfback Walkling.
I think Smith was the one who got his arms on that first, but it was Tweedy Asser that came out with it. It's Backer which takes on the role of playmaker. Ball goes to ground, but they've still got something out of it. Zlati makes a couple of breaks, steps off his left again. He's beaten 3 or 4 players. He's still going. Finally, they wrap him up.
Yeah, good run there by Lautai. So about 40 metres out now, as we'll see. Hamilton, this is where they're dominant, taking the ball forward, but no, looks like
still
the
there, Matt
Beaches side
Lanzini.
has stolen the ball, so nice work by them. As Donaldson searching for the ball at the back of the breakdown, does well. Butler with the little kick over the top. The Vasa kicker, Kaku's there. Oh, he nearly gets taken out by Adrian Delore. He does well there, the big Fijian.
Yeah, a bit lucky there, Southern Beaches. I thought he might have made contact while Vasa Kaku was still in the
nice
air.
Kick though by Walkling, box kick. We saw that he practices them all week, and Smith coming through, and he gets a hand to Lamb's ankle, but Lamb's still going. As we know, he's very dangerous in broken field play, KG Lamb.
Yet the chip and chase. I think one day we watched him play chipped and chased 5 or 6 times, but geez, it looks like he's grown the last 12 months. He's really put on some weight.
A good run there by Lanzini.
Donaldson just has a little dart from the back of the ruck.
So now
he looks quite comfortable in the halfback role so far.
Yeah, the Beaches side is a bit disjointed at the back though, with him taking the ball into contact. And there he is, Lamb. Met well by the Hamilton defence. And good clean out there. Oh, and Joe Ackersdye getting a hand to it there.
Yeah, I thought Steve Lamont just came in from the side there. Was lucky to get away with that one. This will be a big test of this scrum. I expect Hamilton to put a bit of pressure on through this one, because it looks like Southern Beaches is taking a few deep breaths. Heads are down. They're a bit on their heels at the moment.
Yeah, the Hamilton side, I don't know what they've done in the off-season for their conditioning, but they just look two steps faster than most teams in this competition at the moment, don't they, Jimmy?
And they can really, they can sense when a team's a bit flat, and then it's when they turn it up a gear at that point, whether it's a scrum or a line out or just broken field. They'll chance their arms. They can sense the team's a little bit down on confidence or a little bit out of nick, or certainly just breathing heavy for a minute or two. Bang, they'll hit you.
They'll get that screwdriver and drive it in. So the Beaches side set up in attack. Looks like they'll probably take the kicking option here, which for me, I think the Beaches are best when they're picking and driving and soaking in the opposition defence. But as you said, Hamilton defend so well, Jimmy, that they realign really well and they scramble really well. And we saw last week against the Wanderers, they didn't have the ball for 25 minutes and then it all opened up for them. So a lot of pressure
And they're just so good at slowing play down and allowing themselves to get set defensively. Interesting to note here that Tana Lartow has come into in the inside centre in defence. Rob Smith's moved to 5'8", and Jason Keeling back playing on the right wing. I imagine they're expecting a kick here. Perhaps that's why, or maybe he's just having a little breather, take some of the defensive workload off him.
Oh, good scrum by the Hawks. Great scrum there, and Vartaliva picking it up off the back, showing his wealth of experience.
Pops out the other side. I had to get out there somehow, I thought.
I asked him during the week, Vartaliva, if he was as old as Marty Lasua. He said he couldn't tell.
Well, mate, you're lucky to be here alive if you asked him that, I would think. No, I think Var's mid-30s, 35. I think certainly Marty Lasua's at least got a decade on him.
47. And, of course, Marty making the highlights reel of Rugby HQ.
I noticed that this week. I heard, thanks to Gareth Wozick from Bar TV, got a little plug there too. So, mate, great to see you spreading the
gospel.
Word.
Like a preacher.
Increasing the profile of the Newcastle Hunter Rugby Union, which is what we're all about. I'm not sure we want everyone to know that a 47-year-old is still running amok in the Newcastle, in the HRU, but whatever works.
Well, apparently I spoke to Marty during the week too, and he's going for a Super Rugby contract. And Delore with the ball now, getting through one good strong run by Michael Delore. It was
shaded on the outside, and it's great to see him exploding and taking to the line. He's been cruel by injuries the last couple of years. He looks like he's finally got some match fitness. Just back from a holiday in the States, actually, as the Southern Beaches switch to the left.
Lamb with the ball now is trouble here. And the Beaches, will they get there? Yes, they do. It's Nevo on the far side who scores a try in the corner. And that's a good hit back there for the Southern Beaches side, Jimmy.
Yeah, certainly sort of came against the run of play, but it was a nice little bust from Michael Delore. In the past, we've seen him catch and pass and be more of an organiser. Great to see him take it to the line. He burst through that little hole, and from there they were on the front foot. Spread it quickly to the left, and the big strong winger, he was just too big and powerful and went over in the corner. Great return, one they needed as well.
He wound up, didn't he, Nevo? I'll tell you what, he looks hard to stop out on that far wing. If they can get the ball to him a bit more, they're going to cause some problems as we go to the replay here. So Delore with the ball, and Lamb sets him up nicely, didn't he? And all he had to do was get to the try line. He got ankle tap, but he's made it.
I'm not sure where the opposition winger was there. Nowhere to be seen. Hamilton, they went quarter man short there. I don't know whether the change with Jason Keeling moving out there from that set piece, maybe miscommunication. But yeah, it was certainly open up and down that left passage, wasn't it? And they virtually showed him the sideline, and he took it and he powered over.
Maybe trying to do too much, be too tricky there, the Hawks. So Coach Coleman won't be happy with that one. There's a score level here with a kick to come. As we see Butler on your Bar TV screens there. He comes in, he strikes it pretty well. Yeah, but it's waved away there. So the score remains 12-all here at Alan Davis Field. There's one of the front rows out there. I think it's Watini getting some attention. Just getting that ankle strapped. He's all right to play on, and the Hawk side with a good even spread across the park. Oh, Sorelli comes through on it, but no, he misses that one, and Nagy cleans up Lanzini. So the ball goes to Butler. Butler now to Vartaliva. Var taking the ball again forward. There's Donaldson looking for the ball. It could be a turnover here, but no. Des Gilbert says diving over, was it? So Des Gilbert blowing time off as there's another injury out there. Sorelli looking a little bit ginger. His hair looking a little bit afro. As we look at the replay here. Their feet there, the Hawks. So Des Gilbert right in his summation of that. As they find touch, probably not the best kick that Butler's done today, but he's found touch about 40 outs. So Chigi comes up and He's asking for the ball. What are the ball boys doing, Jimmy?
Not their job by the look of it,
Well,
that's for sure.
Mick Tolhurst just walked straight past the ball, head in the clouds. Sorted out, Mick. That's probably the worst kick I've ever seen as well by the trainer there. So Chidgey with the ball in hand now. Yeah, nice ball off the top. Butler with a flat ball to Delore. Delore gets a hand away. Lanzini was on his outside. Ball goes to ground. So now the Hawks have turned the ball over, have they? No. Beaches retain it. Good work then. Good scrambling. No, the Hawks come up with it. So Keelan with the ball. Ackersdyke with it. Round the corner. Sorelli now. Sorelli, he's opened up. He's got past one. No, he's cleaned up from behind by Delore. Walkling gets there. They look to spread the ball now. Playing sideline to sidelines. Asai makes a little break. He's still going.
Still got numbers on the right here, the Hawks. They just need a quick ball. They go to the right. Walkling.
Probably not as quick as they
out
want.
the back.
Yeah, nice work. Lautai with it. Vasa Kikakaku met there on the far side. Good defence by Beaches. Good scrambling. And here they go now to Keelan. So they're playing sideline to sideline as Vasagotti now has a bit of room and takes it on.
This game's just jumped up a notch, hasn't it?
It has. As Keelan with it now. Cuts one out. Smith tries to get through one. Good defence there by Delore. So now Walkling with it. Getting the ball to Brennan. Brennan taking the ball. And just setting it up nicely. Nice little short ball to Lamont. Lamont hits and spins, gets the ball away. Vasa Kikakaku got a hand free. He's still going. Vasa Kikakaku. Vasa Kikakaku. Oh, he puts the big arm out, but he didn't make it. Ackersdyke now to Lautai. Lautai will go over in the corner.
He's such a handful, Vasa Kikakaku, isn't he? He just gets that big one arm. He's like a basketball. He shows it one way, shows it the other. It looked like he was going to plant it down for a try. Managed to get it back. Intelligent play, smart play. That's why he's playing for New South Wales country, and that's why Scott Coleman loves having him in his team, particularly at fullback. I think he's really growing into that position.
Yeah, it definitely looks a lot better at fullback this year, doesn't he? We saw he tried to plant that big hand out there. He must have been very, very close, but did the sensible thing and brought the ball back in. And it was easy as you like for Lautai in the far corner. Just pressure did that to them. The Southern Beaches side. We see Lamont, Vasagotti now. As we see, he's so strong as well, and he's nimble as well for a big man. Oh, he put that big hand out.
It's like he had his hand in the cookie jar and he's about to steal it and went, no, thank you. I won't get in a stripe. I'll get it back. And they just shifted it 2 passes wide. Great work from Ivan Walkley as well. They knew it was on his outside. Shifted it wide and, yeah, easy try.
Yeah, so far with 35 minutes gone, I think Walkling has probably been the difference in this match. He's playing really sensibly, isn't he? And really guiding this Hamilton side around. He's been there for the last line of defence a couple of times. He's cleaned out when he has to, and he's got on all the loose ball when he has to as well.
Oh, there's no doubt he's an accomplished player, a very experienced player, and for mine, if he's not the best halfback in the competition, he's certainly in the top 2 or 3. In fact, I can't think of a better one. I know Jay Struan played halfback for the Newcastle rep team, but he spends most of his time in the centres and doesn't really have that halfback fitness to go with it. To be honest, I can't think of anyone that's better than him.
I mean, Sherwood.
Different sorts of players. Yeah. I mean, Luke Sherwood's probably a better defender, but certainly doesn't have the crisp service and just the ability to read things and capitalise on extra men and holes in defensive lines as Ivan has.
As the restart comes now, another good one there by Butler, and Lamont gets under it, juggles it, comes back up with it. Ackersdyke with it now, taking them forward. You can just sense the Hamilton side here, looking for the kill as Keelan with a big torpedo bomb midfield. It bounces, and Vartaleeva can't come up with it. He gets it on the second bite. And here they go now, Donaldson. The Hamilton chase was very, very good. And they just look that a little bit more keen, don't they, the Hamilton side, as Butler with it now. They've got Delore with Delore. He's calling his brother on the inside. He makes the break. He goes to the inside, but no, he just didn't have the support there as his younger brother was caught in traffic.
And then he get the ball back quickly here. Oh, good counter attack.
Yeah, great clean out there.
Joe
Here's
Aggers.
Pusey will keep going.
It was young Brennan that came through. Great piece of counter-attack there. They had numbers on the left Southern Beaches. They just needed the ball out. They got the first wave of clean out through, but the second wasn't. And it was a great piece of counter-rucking from the young boy Brennan. He's been pretty strong. I've been impressed with him.
Yeah, he has, hasn't he?
Smart play. You know, didn't go too quickly. Just waited till the first wave had come through from Southern Beaches, and then timed the counter-rucking to perfection.
As we look at this replay here, as the counter-attack, Michael Delore saying, "Where you going, little brother?"
Well, I think it's older brother, actually. It was Adrian. It was Andrew on the outside.
There's so many Delores, I'm confused. We're going to talk to their father in half-time, so maybe he can help us out.
And of course, the other Delore, Marty's up in Darwin working, not playing. He was half-back here for the last couple of years,
right,
so there could have been 4 of them out there.
So Vartaleva getting an arm free, trying to push the pass, unlike him, putting his side under pressure, but the Beaches do well, scrambling. Oh, good work of the breakdown by the Hawks, though.
Good pick up there from Barcelona. Got to him on the half volley, bent down well to pick that up. And this was, if you remember last week, this is where Hamilton turned up the screws against Wanderers, and they scored that try right on half-time, which blew the game apart. Southern Beaches need to hang on here.
Yeah, Rickard just taking it from the back of the breakdown there. Good work by him just to sort his players out, as Butler didn't have many options with the Hawk side coming up quickly, but he's very strong, isn't he, Butler? And he gets through one. He always seems to get through one or two, doesn't he, with the ball in hand?
Yeah, twists and turns, a very strong upper body as Adrian Delore takes it to the line.
And here they go again. Novi with it. Novi going down the side. Ball inside to Delore. It could be a try. Yes, he has called a try. I thought it went forward for all money, Jimmy. But that's a try.
Yeah, I thought as well, but the touch judge, he was right there on the spot. Certainly, it's one of those ones that may have floated forward, but it was probably out of the back of the hand to start with. But yeah, great reply from Southern Beaches. I hope they had their heads down. I thought they were looking towards half-time, hoping that it couldn't come quick enough. But yeah, great little piece of enterprise. And Nova, once he gets the ball in his hands, he's so strong and powerful.
He is, isn't he? Look, here we go to the replay. And it wasn't the best pass.
It wasn't much on.
And here he goes. He opened up, didn't he? And the big palm comes out.
Bainavala had no answer, and then it was Vasagotti, and that. Ooh. Yeah, I'd like to see that side on, and that one might have floated forward, but Adrian Delore was there on the spot, and he says, thank you very much.
It drifted forward, according to our producers here from the Southern Beaches crowd.
So certainly deserved the try from one anyway. It was, yeah. He's big and strong.
I don't know if deserved the tries in Section 7 of Rule Part A of the law book, Jimmy, but anyway. It's a try. They're not going to take it back, so the score,
the one thing you can say is that the touch judge and the referee were both there on the spot, so they were in the best position to call it. That's the way they've seen it. And for mine, it doesn't look like the Hamilton players are arguing too much.
Well, they can't. They're all puffed. It's been an absolutely frenetic game in this first half, so the score locked up at 17 all. Kick to come here by Butler. He missed one from a similar position not so long ago. As he sets the ball up. Straight up and down. That's Michael O'Connor, 1984. 1979.
He kicked that memorable goal in the State of Origin in the pouring rain to earn the Blues a victory back in the early 90s?
91 or 92.
Of course, Michael O'Connor was in charge of the ARU Sevens program for many years and was a guest of the Hawthorn Club not too long ago.
And of course, the Sevens. Any mothers and fathers out there listening? Sevens a great pathway now to get to the Olympics as he nails that one, Butler. So now the Beaches in front here, leading Hamilton 19-7. So why wouldn't you get your kids involved in rugby, Jimmy, when you can get to the Olympics? There's so many pathways. Yeah, they play all around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're pouring a lot of money into it too. So, and they're targeting naturally gifted kids from other sports. They've been real aggressive in their recruitment for the Sevens program, particularly with the girls.
Yeah, nice run there by Rickard. Butler kicks across field. Novi coming through on it. Not the best of options. I don't know what all that was about.
That one, yeah. He had plenty of scope to make some ground up this close touch on, but he took the odds. Maybe thought Nevo might still have another breath of wind under his sails and may have got there first, but just didn't touch him. I think more so to give his forwards not even give his forwards a breather. They've got to run out that other side. A real opportunity here for Hamilton to strike just before half time, though.
Here we go now, Keelan with it. A little bit scrappy is Pusey. We haven't seen too much of him in this first half, Pusey. He's dangerous. Lamont with it now. He's been everywhere. He pops a ball up. Oh, and didn't need to do that. The Hamilton side now, Sorelli with it. It's going to be called a knock on, though. I thought it may have come off the beaches, but nonetheless.
Hamilton, there's been a distinct tactic today to shift everything wide. They haven't played with that direct play, that direct style. You normally see them picking and driving and hitting up just on the edges. They obviously don't want to get into an arm wrestle with Beaches. They know in terms of the physicality, Beaches will probably come out on top of there, but Southern Beach is now starting to wisen up to that. Bartel Lever's sitting out a bit wider. Their back rowers and their centres are hunting up in a pack. They're expecting Hamilton to hit them in those channels.
Yeah, we just saw the Bar TV replay there as well, and for mine it was a knock-on every day of the week, but not at Alan Davis Field today. It's Des Gilbert controlling the match really well in his first half, of course, thanking the referees that we do each week. Butler now gives it to Delore to Delore. He goes through, he cuts through Adrian Delore. He's very quick on his feet now. Butler with it. Oh, the ball just escaping Novi's big hands there as Vartaleva met midfield there by Sorelli it was.
They just need to reset here and load up again, Southern Beaches. A good opportunity for them to strike just before half-time.
Yeah, so we're playing in injury time.
Yeah, Stone hits it up, gets the ball back to Lanzini. He gets those big legs of his moving forward.
Nice run by Lanzini. He's been a bit quiet.
Yeah, both teams have been playing. I think that's as a result of the game more so than anything. Both teams have been playing it wide.
Oh, there's no one home as Sorelli was on the far side. Could be trouble, but Rob Smith comes up with a good work by the inside centre as he tries to get the ball back. They're going to have to do something with it here. The Hamilton side, there's a lot of pressure coming from the Southern Beaches. Oh, that's a poor pass there as Akasdike forced to clean up. Vasa Kikakaku now with it. He's going to set the ball up. Good pressure here by the Beaches side on their own line. Keelan calling for it, gets a ball. Not the best one. It's going to land in touch. Butler under it well.
Adrian Delore screaming for it here.
Michael Delore taking it in. Oh, he's taken nicely by Walkling.
Still
got numbers here if Vartaleva can get it out, but no. Uses that brilliant footwork that he's got to take it in. Butler just trying to organise his trips to the right. They're going to go left, though. Delore with it now. Could be trouble. Lamb with the ball. Lamb is going. He's got his arms free. No. He's taken, though, by Hamilton. He's still going, though, Lamb. He's very, very close.
I hate to think what was the tackle there. He looked like he was caught twice, but they're really right on the hammer here, Southern Beaches. They just got to stay a little bit composed now. Hamilton got their defensive line set. They can't get too adventurous. And that penalty
there, so Hamilton just encroaching the break. Quick tap taken, Lanzini. Des Gilbert says not on the mark, so a little bit eager there, the Southern Beaches side.
Well, this is the first time we've seen Hamilton been under any real pressure for the whole season, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Wanderers threw a bit at them early, but in terms of pressure on the scoreboard, this is certainly the
they're behind
the most
on the
they've been tested.
They have to tap it here, so they've got the chance that they may go even further behind. For mine, I'd be probably taking the kick at goal, and yes, they do indicate that as we're 5 minutes into injury time according to the clock on the Bar TV scoreboard. Of course, this greater NHRU round 3 catch-up round. We had last night the Wanderers taking on Lake Macquarie in what was an absolute shellacking.
It ended up being a shellacking there, but for 20 minutes or so, they really aimed up. I thought
think the first half, it was only 5 points in it.
Yeah, Wanderers didn't play real smart that first 15, 20 minutes. It wasn't until their fitness took over and they were able to get away with things. But
it was like they brought their game from the week before into that match, and they couldn't shake it for a good 40 minutes, but they certainly came good in that second half.
Just got a score through from Townsend Oval. University 17, lead Merewether 0. Bit of a turn up there.
Wow.
Considering the students are playing their third game in 7 days, so the Green Room won't be happy.
Well, we had the pleasure of Sam Berry in the commentary box and off camera, out of sight the other night. He was very confident taking his side over to Townsend Oval. There's Butler now. The crowd hushes. Comes in. Has the shot. And he has made no mistake of it. at half-time here at Alan Davis Field. The score now 22 to Beaches, Hamilton 17, and they'll go into half-time with a bit of confidence, I'd imagine, Jimmy.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the first time Hamilton have been under this sort of pressure at half-time, scoreboard pressure. They've been under pressure defensively at stages, but I like what I see about Southern Beaches. A couple of times I thought they were busted, they were gone, they were down there. They responded. They found something. Adrian Delors has been very clever out wide. His partnership with his brother Michael's been good. I think that's where the battle of the centres has been the real highlight of this contest. Rob Smith versus Mike Delors, KG Lamb versus Vasagotti, and of course Big Eric chiming in with things. So yeah, plenty. I can't wait for the second half.
Yeah, very good. And we'll take a quick word from our sponsors now. We'll be back in a couple of minutes to speak with the patriarch of the Delors family. So join us there for Bar TV. Of course, it's the greater NHRU match of the round. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.
At the Greater, we're always on your side. We've got this winning lineup of products and services ready to get you over the line. To kick goals for your finances, contact the Greater. Proudly supporting Newcastle and
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge drinking.
Now when you're watching your favourite sports, like football,
Swimming, basketball,
Netball,
and athletics,
you'll see this logo.
it's all about coming together to have a positive influence on our drinking culture.
We're strong enough to say enough.
and you can be too.
Back your judgment.
Stand up for what you believe in.
Be the influence.
So welcome back, everybody, to Bar TV's Match of the Round coverage in the greater NHRU. With us now, we've got the patriarch of the Southern Beaches Club, and of course the Delors boys, Mr. Delors. How are you?
John.
Yeah, John Delors. How are you? Of course.
Not too bad. I'm pretty pumped up today.
Yeah, well, you've got three boys playing out today. Of course, is it the eldest that's in Darwin?
No, he's the third oldest.
There you go.
Yeah.
The second youngest.
Yeah. I was going to reverse that around.
Yeah, very good. I'll tell you what, you've bred some good rugby players. Do you just procreate when the tests are on or something?
They're lucky they picked up their mother's speed.
Very good. And of course, the Alan Davis Field, the facility here. Just tell us at home how much work's gone into it, because it's an absolutely marvellous facility for the lake.
I can't believe it. I came over on Thursday night and saw it, and then when we arrived today, the wife came over too, and she understands all the work that people have done for the last 20 years, and she was actually crying because it's absolutely fantastic. You know, we've I think we were talking earlier, we've had 9 or 10 grounds over the last 20 years that we've trained at or played with, so hopefully we're here for a while now.
Yeah, definitely. As you said, you've had a few grounds. You've had Carl Oval, you've had the one at Mount Hunton. What was that one? Yeah. That you've had up the road at Wendale.
Dudley, over at Dudley, everywhere.
So, I mean, this, as you mentioned, you're one of the founding members of the Southern Beaches Club. So it started off juniors.
Yeah. 20 years ago we started off, and then built that up. We were very strong in the juniors, and then about 9 years ago we had an opportunity, and we took that opportunity. I'm glad we did. It was up in the air. We didn't know.
Yeah, definitely. I remember I was coming back from injury, and you guys were in the second division, I believe it was, for Merriweather, and I was playing with Merriweather Carlton, and I remember talking then, that was the plan always to get in the Premier grade. Grand final last year, do you think this year is the year?
Oh yeah, we'll slowly build up to it. But, you build up, hopefully you go one further this year from last year. So we've got good, our strength has come from the lower grades. And we said we've got to get that right, and then we'll get the first grade right.
Yeah, definitely. And one of the best junior feeder clubs in the competition.
We've got to go back and redress that. Yeah, we've had a few problems the last couple of years, but hopefully this will help us a lot, because at least people arrive now and they enjoy the facility.
Yeah, very good. And as you said, it's a marvellous facility. Quick question though, 4 sons that play rugby, which one's your favourite?
They all bring a little bit to the game. I enjoy watching them all, mate. I enjoy it all.
Yeah, trick question there for you, John. Very good. Thanks very much for joining us at half-time. And again, what a wonderful job you guys have done, and great for community rugby and great for grassroots rugby around the Hunter.
Thanks for your support.
Thanks very much. Thanks, John. That was John Delors there from the Southern Beaches Club, one of the founding members. Started off as a junior club, and now some of those juniors playing here in the first grade side, including his 3 sons, Adrian, Michael and Andrew Delore. So the score here, Southern Beaches 22, Hamilton 17. As we see Steve Lamont having a bit of a word out there to Des Gilbert, getting in his head. So we're in the second half here for the greater NHRU Round 3 competition. Of course, the other sponsors on board with the NHRU, NIB, Viatech, Tui's, Tulloch, and of course the Newcastle Herald, where my co-caller here today, Jimmy Gardner, head writer of rugby, head writer of soccer for the Herald. How are you, Jimmy?
Good, mate. Got some around the grounds for you. A couple of close games, a couple of upsets too by the look of it. University 17 leading Mary the Carlton 0. Maitland doing it nice and tough up at Singleton, leading the Bulls 17-5 at half-time. Waratah looked to be in control against Nelson Bay, leading 34-15. And of course here, Southern Beaches 22, Hamilton 17. You mentioned Johnny Delore. Of course, he had a very good career for Hamilton. Played a lot of first grade, won some premierships there. So I guess his family might be split in one way or the other here, given his history with the Hamilton Hawks. But he's certainly a Southern Beaches man now.
As we go now, Keelan with the ball, getting it downfield. It's going to be a penalty though by Gilbert. Offside is the call. So
interesting to see whether the conversation Steve Lamont had with Des Gilbert just before the restart of the second half comes into effect here. It looked like he was talking about the breakdown and having players there and what I guess determines a ruck and what doesn't. But he certainly let things go to this point. Des Gilbert in the game has been very free-flowing and the way both teams have played.
Well, not finding touch there. Oh, yes, he's put a foot out there on the far side. Delore, I thought he was away there. There wasn't a very good chase on it by the Hawks side. They just look a little bit flat at the moment, don't they, the Hawks? They certainly had a spring in their step for about 20 minutes in that match, but Ackersdyke goes up nicely. And Keelan with it. Oh, good flat ball there to Asai. Wrestling his way to the ground. Good clean out by the Hawks as they go left. Sorelli getting involved early. He's been probably the best of the back line here for the Hawks in this first half.
Yeah, busy looking, coming in for work. Just slowing things down here, Southern Beaches. Struggling to get the ball out.
Yeah, penalty again. Slowing the ball down, and Walkling takes the quick tap. Calls for offside, but Des Gilbert says it's fine. Walkling. Keelan with it, runs to the line, spins, gets one away to Bakarich. Oh, the ball around the corner here as Barcelona winds up, but he's brought down. He gets the ball away. No, Delore comes up with it and tries to clear it away. Keelan has it though. Will use it quickly.
Well, they got numbers out here, the
Smith goes himself. He could have let it sing, but he didn't. Bakarich comes around, but they go to Lamont, and Lamont gets the ball away. Sorelli with it. Now Barcelona again. He's got one on the outside. Outside. No, Pusey. It's Pusey on the far side, and Pusey will score.
Yeah, great bit of enterprise there from the Hawks. It was their big man that did the job out wide, Big Silla, and then of course to Chris Pusey. We said he was a bit of a I won't say non-event in the first half, but he certainly wasn't have as much impact as we've seen him because they have played that little bit wider. But they played it wide again. But this time it was their big man doing the damage. Big Silla, he beat 2 or 3. He was in open space for the second time in a couple of minutes. I don't think he knew where he was, and
I didn't know where I was.
And he found, as we see here, they just go from one side to the other. Ackersdyke, Rob Smith hits it up. Good tackle there by Vartalaliva. Goes to ground. Got a bit slow here. Took a while for the ball to come in. I thought Southern Beaches were able to get their defensive line set, but there was just a little hole there. Took it to the line, Lamont, and then it goes to Benavalo. And Big Silo, he's in open space. Draw and pass. Pusey in the corner. They won't stop him from 5 metres.
Yeah, nice. Well, he's a little wrecking ball, isn't he, Pusey? He normally has a good try in him, but as you said, he's been very, very quiet in that first half. Not getting much of an opportunity as the Hawks using the width of the field. So Keelan now hasn't had the best of days with the boot. He comes in. He hits it nicely though. And he has made sure of that one, Keelan. So now Hamilton take the lead again in this seesawing match. It's 24-22. Southern Beaches, of course, running right to left in the second half.
And that's the 4-try bonus point racked up again for Hamilton. They've made certainly a habit of this. Every week now they've managed to score 4 tries, so there's no complaints with their attack, but their defence is what they need to get in order in the second half.
Yeah, nice take there by Brendan under a lot of pressure.
He's been good today. He's been very strong.
Yeah, the restart. Oh, good little box kick out off the back there as Lautai comes through and knocked on by Donaldson and taken over the sideline for his efforts too by Smith.
Yeah, he had Tana Lautai coming down on him, didn't he? You could hear the footsteps coming as he bent down to pick that ball, and he just had a little knock on, just grasped it. Yeah, the referees picked it up. Good work there by Des Gilbert. A little bit of assistance, most likely from the touch judge, you would think.
And the crowd. They're very, very close here at Allen Davis.
Look here,
Field,
he just comes in. Yeah, he came at it at pace, Donaldson. He just got a bit off balance, and the ball was behind him, and he just got a little touch to it, little knock on. Look at this Hamilton. They're pumping each other up. They're slapping each other on the back. They know this next 10 minutes is going to be crucial to deciding this outcome.
Des Gilbert calls bind. Well, good scrum by Beaches, though. Hamilton hold it. Keelan with it. Gets the ball to Smith. Second man play there to Lautai. Lautai gets the ball away to Vasakikakaku. Hill still going. He's going to get caught, is he? No. He gets the ball away to Vasagotti. And Vasagotti will score again under the posts.
Wow, what a turnaround. 2 tries, 3 minutes, bang, away we go. Geez, Vasakikakaku again. He's just so big and strong. He gets those big arms out. He fends, he palms, he manages to get the ball free, and Vasagotti loomed up, and he was like a little hare. He took off, and there was no catching him. 2 quick replies from Hamilton. You thought they were struggling at half-time. They've come out on the back of 2 quick penalties, 3 quick penalties, I think it was, and then bang, bang. They hit you with all they've got, and all of a sudden they're in front, could be in front by 8 points at the end of this.
And here they go again, and we'll see it here. Good
Nice
work
set
by
play.
Lautai, wasn't it? He hit that ball, and there was a great ball off the hip to Vasakikakaku, who had Vasagotti on the outside. I tell you what, if Hamilton do any recruiting next year, it'll be Vaseline, won't it?
Well, they've got it covered in the back line, and they're very slippery as well. So he converts that, Jason Keelan. They put a little gap on him now. This will be another. This game's had some ebbs and flows, hasn't it? Just when you think one team's getting on top, the other comes back. Another big test here for Southern Beaches.
It's probably, so far, it's been the game of the season, that's for sure. As Butler has the ball now. On halfway for the restart. The crowd getting riled up here at Allen Davis. And that is another great restart there, and taken nicely though by Brennan again. A nice kick there, and Donaldson takes it as Vartaleva gets back in support. And Hamilton now come up with it, do they? It's Scrappy at the breakdown. Still going. Southern Beaches consolidate the ball. Vartaleva calling for it. He's always there when they get in a little bit of trouble, the captain.
Good defence though from Rob Smith. You don't see Talaleva get driven back very often, but he was then. He was on his heels, and they got numbers here on the left. Donaldson takes a little snipe, but he's picked up by Chris Pusey. Again, just rolling forward here, Beaches.
Yeah, so Beaches probably look to take it from the back now with Donaldson stuck at the bottom of the ruck.
Got a few numbers here banking up on the left here. Adrian Delore snuck over to the left wing, calling for the ball as Talaleva rucks it up again. They come through. They've got to get the ball back here. Donaldson looking for the ball, burying, digging his arms in, searching. Here comes Butler, cut out past to Delore. Did well to stay in the end. They come through in numbers. Good counter-rucking here from the Hawks. But looks like they've cleaned it up, Southern Beaches.
And here
no half-back though. Lenzizi looks like he's going to truck it up. He's ready for a hit up. He's got his hands on his hips waiting for the ball.
Oh, little knock on there, and Lamont comes up with it. Vasagotti now dancing. He's strong. He pops a pass. Didn't necessarily need to do it. Rob Smith cleans up the scrappy play, but Des Gilbert.
Yeah, he'd ruled there was an advantage there played there by Hamilton, and as a result, from that little knock on, Southern Beaches get the put into the scrum and a chance to relieve some field position pressure. I don't think they've been down the other end so far in the opening 9 minutes of this second half.
No, it's been all Hamilton so far, hasn't it? And the score, 31-22. So it's anyone's game here with 10 minutes gone. As we go now to the replay, we see just taking the ball under pressure.
Yes, came off their feet there, the Hawks. Probably lucky to get away with that. They pulled in there in numbers, and he just went to pick this up, and I think he got stuck on the leg of one of his own players, and a little knock on there.
Very scrappy nonetheless, and I'll tell you what, that probably won't make the Bar TV highlights reel this week. So good scrum there by the Hawks. Going backwards, Beaches. Donaldson dropping the ball, but Gilbert says play on.
Yeah, just lacked that little bit of combination there, Talaliba and the replacement halfback, but they managed to get a penalty out of it. Oh, there's a couple of pushing and shoving going in there. Southern Beach is not happy with a bit of treatment handed out there from the Hawks.
Yeah, Asai, the man involved for the Hawks, and having a bit of a chuckle as he goes back to the defensive line. Butler with the ball in hand. He's probably going to want to get a bit of distance on this one just to get into the Hawks half. They, as you mentioned, they've struggled to get over the other side of the ledge of this second half here. That's a good.
Yeah, Butler does exactly that. He's a very good kicker of the football. Gets great purchase on it. This line out, Southern Beaches, they've been very good their line out today. Ben Chichi's hit the mark nearly every time, and Glenn Stone has been a real go-to man. What are they, 35 out? Real chance to play with a bit of depth here and maybe put a set play into place.
Yeah, maybe set up with them all just to get a bit of easy yardage as well. And then
Andrew Delors coming off his right wing, sort of sitting in the pocket there behind his inside centre.
Goes to the back, all taken in nicely there. I think it was Brennan.
Trucks it up.
Lenzini, nice run by him. The ball comes out now. Big run there by Barcelona. Barcelona still going. Good run by him. And Vartaliva coming around again. Nice run by the big captain. Butler calling for it. Lanzini's off his hip, but good pressure there by the Hawks.
They're up very quick then, the Hawks, but you got that recycled back, and they're trucking it through over the ad line here. They're on the front foot here, Southern Beaches.
Yeah, well done to Southern Beaches as Donaldson at the back, Lanzini in doing the tight stuff. As they cut out Barcelona. Delors with it. Delors has made a break. Adrian Delors is going to go all the way. Yes, good try there by Adrian Delors, the youngster.
Yeah, great try. He took it upon himself to come in from fullback, come into first receiver. Saw he had a slow man on his inside. A little dummy. He just exploded through that hole. That's the sevens game coming out in him. He played for the Australian Youth Sevens at the Youth Olympics a couple of years ago, and he sees himself going down that sevens pathway. And that was a great little piece of enterprise, and one certainly Southern Beaches needed.
I'll tell you what, he's got rockets in his boots, hasn't he? As we look at the Bar TV replay, he threw the big dummy, saw the gap open up, and it wasn't that big of a gap.
Yeah, he had Siller on his outside.
He had the two big men.
He went between Siller and Chris Pusey. He thought, I'll catch these two, and he just slipped straight through, exploded through the hole, and then it was just a sprint race, and they couldn't get to him. He darted that 15 metres on a nice angle, and this game's on a nice edge, and you think the Delors are going to have a bigger part to play in the last 25 minutes.
Yeah, well, Vasa Kikakaku, he's no slouching coming across in cover, and Delors just absolutely burnt him as well, so take nothing away from cutting up a couple of prop forwards. He also had to get out of the big clutches of Vasa Kikakaku. As Butler now. He's had a pretty good day with the boots. He comes in and Sorelli tries to spoil it. And he's hooked that one wide. So again, the chase on that attempted conversion. Good by the Hawks. The score remains Hamilton 31, Southern Beaches 27. 13 minutes gone. This game could be 41-40 by the end of it, Jimmy.
It's got a Super Rugby scoreline about it, hasn't it? It's both teams certainly testing the arm, playing some great rugby, some entertaining rugby, some great attack. The fence structures have probably been a little bit left to be desired, but that's purely because of the good attack, I think, more so than they're not missing too many one-on-one tackles. They're just getting good matchups. Young, quick backs on big forwards is what you want all day.
Yeah, nice clearing kick. It's Vasa got him picked up and driven there by
Andrew
Delors. That was a good, solid hit there by the winger, and they turned the ball over. No, Des Gilbert says diving over. Yeah, unlucky there. I thought that they deserved to turn the ball over there, the Beaches side.
They hit him like a cement truck, didn't he? He just ran straight at him. Vasa got in. he had a full head of steam and a good front on tackle, and Andrew Delore just picked him up and sat him on his backside as we have a look at it now. He was motoring, and Andrew Delore just went, "Thank you very much, I'll take you," and bang.
That's what they invented physics for, Jimmy, for tackles like that.
Oh, and that hasn't found touch, and it was Andrew Delore that took it.
Nice work there by Delore, and now it's Michael Delore.
Oh, Adrian, I think you'll find he's got that little porn moustache about him. He's got the 70s mo going. That's the only reason I can tell them apart.
Well, there you go. I'm not too familiar with the 70s swagger that they used to have, as Lamb has it now. KJ Lamb with it. Oh, no look pass. And here goes Barcelona. Barcelona keeps going up the sideline, but he's taken out.
Just on that little bit of trouble here. It looks like Adrian Delore. He's in a bit of pain on the ground. I don't know if he's just been winded, or he's certainly got a heavy knock in that last hit up of his. And a bit of concern here shown by the trainers as well as his brother. I think they're playing on though at this point.
Yes, the Hamilton side have it. So there's a man down in back play as Rob Smith gets the short ball to Vasagotti. Vasagotti will go all the way. Here comes Delore from the far side. He points at him. He's showing off his skylarking, and he nearly muffs it, but it's a try to Vasagotti.
Yeah, again, it's a tragedy because you hate to see that when Adrian Delore's down getting attention. Obviously in quite a bit of bother here, it looks like. He's got 3 trainers around him now, and in the process of that happening, gives Hamilton an extra man. Of course, they have to be good enough to exploit it, and they did. It was Vasagotti who hit the hole, and then he just sprinted 50 metres away. Andrew Delore did his best to try and get him, but within that extra man, there was no other doubt than him scoring a try. And it looks like he's at least moving a little bit here, Adrian Delore. I think maybe he just got hit hard in the tackle. It might be a case of a head knock more than anything else, but he's not in a real good way.
As we go now and look at the replay. Well done by a producer. Oh, he's just hit very, very hard, wasn't he, by Lautai? And yeah, he just didn't really have a good body position there. So
he's sitting up now. He seems to be, I guess I reckon it's taking the wind out of him, or perhaps a little head knock there, but
little kink in the neck.
Just poor timing, really. I want to say poor timing. It's just they're a team that can do that, Hamilton. They notice something happening. They notice a man down, and bang, all of a sudden they're gone.
Yeah, as we see Vasagotti there just going up the middle. Scores a nice try there. Not too sure about the pointing. But anyway, each to their own, Jimmy.
Certainly nothing not that I ever scored any tries, to be honest.
40 out, at least.
I probably would be pointing to blokes if I could.
Yeah.
if I managed
I'd
to do
be
that.
pointing to everything.
They must be very slow if it was the case anyway.
I'd be questioning why I was there. So Butler now with the restart score, 38-27, and oh, that is something he probably won't be proud of and won't send the highlights back to Ireland there, Jimmy.
Yeah, not what they needed either. They needed to really hit back straight away, Southern Butchers, but I guess the pleasing thing from that, it's good to see Adrian Delore just signal to the rest of his teammates that he's okay, just a bit of wind. He adjusts his jumper now, and he's back into his defensive line, but he's lining up at outside centre for this scrum with KG Lamb going to fullback.
Back to fullback, KG Lamb, sorry. As we go, the Hamilton side, Lautai and Vasakikakaku. Lined out on the right, and they go right. Akasdai picks up. Walkling gets it. Here's Lautai. He's very, very strong, but Vartaleeva meets him well. Ooh, they nearly turn the ball over. They go the same way. Akasdai puts it under his arm and gets the ball back nicely. Now Keelan with it. Rob Smith now. We haven't seen too much of Rob Smith running in general play, really, but he does well there. As they come round now through Nagy. Good run by the big, lanky second rower. Looks like
he's turned it over, though.
Yeah. Yes, well done there. Southern Beaches, good defence. They were out of it for a while there. The Hamilton side, plenty of pressure.
Donaldson just puts up a box kick.
Yeah, not probably the right option. No. They probably want a ball in hand, and Sorelli again, even worse option. As Novi takes it forward. Oh, he tries to barge his way over, and Rob Smith comes up with it. Thought he may have hit the touchline, but it's going to be called a knock-on. A knock-on to Hamilton.
I think he's confused. Yeah, I think the touch he's given assistance. He's called that on. Yeah, knock on Hamilton. Sorry, you're right. My bad.
Hamilton feed. Or Southern Beaches feed, sorry.
Adrian Delore now getting treatment again. Looks like an ankle problem. He's had some chronic ankle problems, so I hope this is nothing serious.
Yeah, there's a bit of blood out there as well as we look at Novi just trying to use his weight and power that he did successfully in the first half, but they were up for it, the Hamilton side, coming over in defence.
And now they're looking at Adrian Delore's knee as Ben Chingy getting a bit of a clean up to some claret coming from a cut above his eye. Of course, they can't. He's the hooker, so they can't really get on with things until he's had that seen to.
Bit of Vaseline to stem the flow of blood. So calling for a replacement to be made. There's going to be a bit of a blood bin. The blood doesn't look like it's stopping and doesn't look like Delore will be taking much further action here. So taking their time and a change will be made.
Yeah, it looks like Adrian Delore's had enough for today. Looks like Lockie Wade, I think, is going on at fullback. Adrian Delore just having some treatment done to his knee, so that's not a good sign. He has been cruel with injuries the last couple of years. Australian schoolboy, missed out on a tour because of, I think he broke his collarbone wrestling with some mates, as you do, as a 17-year-old. Good scrum
there by the Hamilton Hawks. Oh, but Ackersdyke gets it. So Smith has it. Lautai passes to Vasagotti. Good work there by the Hamilton Hawks. They really turned that on at scrum time then. They take it forward through Backerich. Does well to clean up the scraps. So ball out to Keelan. Taken by Donaldson. No options out that way, but they go that way again through Pusey. And Pusey making metres. Long ball out now to Keelan. Keelan to
Big Silla again. He's had a powerful game. Yeah, obviously running the ball, he's had a very strong game.
Nice short ball there to Ackersdyke. Soaking up a few players. Bringing them in, and here goes Lamont. Oh, and Lamont hit hard there by Barcelona. It's bound to be called a penalty, but I tell you what, it was just a good hit.
I think Steve Lamont would stick his hand up and say, well done, mate, you whacked me. Good job. But Des Gilbert saw otherwise. Maybe he's thinking there was no arms in that, but I thought it was just a good solid
It was armless for mine. But he's going to have a chat to him as well as we go now to the replay and have a look at it. And Lamont, he deserves to be hit for that goose step.
Oh, yeah, it was a shoulder. Yeah, fair enough.
No
well done,
arms.
Des. Yeah, well done, Des Gilbert.
I tell you what,
fair
when
call.
you got arms that big, they come second, don't they? As we look at Marty Lasua's warming up on the sideline, so expect to be a change fairly soon for the Hamilton side.
He's tough though, Steve Lamont. He'll be back from that. He just shakes his head and shrugs it off.
Shakes his head, not a hair out of place. So Hamilton, we haven't really seen them with an attacking line-out opportunity in this match. They've scored all their tries from about 40 out today.
They've been long range, haven't they? Yeah. Mailer Sewer goes on for, looks like
Nagy, is it?
Nagy, so there'll be a change. Ackersdyke will go into the second row, you think. And Mailer Sewer play at number 8.
Straight to the back of the line out anyway, and up nicely there, Ackersdyke. They come in. This is a good attacking opportunity. They're in the maul formation. Driving forward.
Assey's got his hands
still
in the
going,
ball,
but no, they've taken it down through our side. Pusey with it now. Pusey still going, Pusey. Already got one today. Backerich. Nice hands by Assai. He has... Yeah, that's going to be a try there to Silla. Showing some depth, skill on his feet. Steps on the inside, and Silla will score a try. Well deserved.
Yeah, Fred Astaire wasn't a twinkle toes. He stepped back off his right foot. He deserves a try. He's gone close a couple of times. He threw the last pass for one, I think. And he was just loitering out there on the sideline. But it all come from a very well executed set piece. Great line out to Ackersdyke at the back. They mauled it up. Eventually the ball went to ground. but they stayed nice and composed. They went a couple of phases back to the short side, and then it was just a case of too many numbers, and Silla steps off his right foot, and he won't score an easier try, I wouldn't think.
That was very, very good composure here, and not as good as the Southern Beaches Maul in the first half, but did the job anyway as Pusi, the wrecking ball, takes it forward. They cut out Bakovic, who was looming as well. Can sniff out a try. And look at the step by the big man, Sealer. I tell you what, Jimmy Garner, they don't make them like they used to.
No, they don't. Dancing with Stars will be on the phone shortly, no doubt. That was Twinkle Toes at its best.
So the score now with 25 minutes gone. Hamilton 43-27. Kick to come. Keelan comes in. It comes around, but no, he has missed that one again. So maybe he took the Bar TV advice last week and started practicing at training, and it's caught haywire for him today, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's just not striking them with that draw he normally has. He's missed most of them out to the right. They just haven't had that little draw to come back around. And in tough times, he was Southern Beaches, that you would think they have to hit back next in the next 5 or 10 minutes if they're going to be any hope here. Good tackle there on Ackers
well there by Rickard, it was. And Ivan Walkling is going to be out on the full. Yeah, out on the full's the call.
Is this the little break that Southern Beaches needed? They certainly need something to go their way.
They haven't been in Hamilton's half, pretty much all half, apart from that Delore try, so they're 1 from 1, Jimmy.
And they certainly need 5 points here, minimum.
But they will miss Adrian Delore out there, playing at fullback.
And one thing that Lockie Wade has got is speed. If he gets some open spaces, a replacement that come on, he'll find that try line. He played a lot on the wing last year as Michael Delore gets over the ad line, gets the ball back. They need to get here in numbers. Southern Beaches as Hawks swarm in, but looks like the ball's at the back now. Butler takes a little dart.
Nice work there by Butler. As we go again, oh, nice short ball. They're working the short side, the Beaches. They'll go again. And Michael Delore taking some pressure off the forwards. And here goes Lanzini.
First time we've seen him really hit it up 1 or 2 passes off the ruck. He's been doing most of his work in tight today.
He's done the tough stuff, hasn't he? He's a player that's very adaptable to a running game as well. And Lamb comes on the inside. I'd like to see him.
There.
Yeah, nice work. Oh, that's going to be a penalty, and unfortunate there for the Hamilton side. I thought that was a fair steal.
Yeah, he just don't know whether he might have called a ruckered form there, Des Gilbert. He was right on the spot. They deny what would be an easy 3 points. They're looking for 5 here, or 7, obviously, that Southern Beaches. They feel they need something a bit more to get back in this game rather than chip away at it bit by bit.
Yeah, but Butler, he'll aim for the 5 metre mark and he'll go very close to it. So good opportunity here now for the Southern Beaches side.
Line out. Looks like the replacement that's come in throwing the line out. I think he was the second grade. He certainly wasn't a second grade hooker. That was Hayden Gavin who went on earlier into the back row. So
it could be his brother Liam Gavin. It is Liam Gavin.
We see another change here with Nebo coming off for Dan Marshall, another noted flyer. Certainly a different style of winger to the man he's replaced, who's all power and size.
And they go to the back again. Oh, that's a good throw there by the replacement. Lanzini comes around. Good run by Lanzini. Lanzini still going. Nice work there by the big man. They've held him up.
Steve Lamont.
They're going to have to do something with it here. The Southern Beaches side, and they go forward on it. It comes to the back here. Donaldson looking for it. No, the Hamilton Hawks have done really well there.
Yeah, they just locked that ball up, didn't they? He ran a bit high, Matt Lanzini. Got caught up, and I think it was Lamont that got him first. And then Ackersdyke came in over the ball and just secured it. And it was safe as a bank then. There was no other option but that going to ground eventually. And, of course, that being a Hamilton feed now into the scrum, a chance for them to get out of their own territory.
Yeah, he does have that high body height as we look at the replay. That's one of the problems he does
yeah,
have when he runs
all
tight.
over the ball, isn't he?
It's all good and well when he's running that one pass wide, but when he's inside, yeah, definitely he does seem to get held up quite often. So here we go. Let's see if Southern Beaches can exert some pressure here.
Yeah, they need a big scrum, don't they? If they can't, they certainly need to at least have Ivan Walkley getting scrappy ball at the back here. They need to really put some power through the middle of the scrum and give their breakaways a bit of a head start in terms of trying to charge this kick down. Because they're certainly set for a kick here. Jason Keeling, nice and deep, back near his dead ball goal. Dead ball line.
Dead ball goal line.
I knew what I wanted to say, but it just didn't quite come out.
That's okay. That's been me all game.
It can happen, mate. It can happen. A bit like writer's block, commentator's curse, I guess you'd call it.
Do you get writer's block?
Every day. Every day.
Of course, Jimmy Gardner.
It's called procrastination, mate. That's what it's called.
Writing for the Herald. Writing to deadlines every day. There's a deadline here in this match with 10 minutes to go. Great scrum there. Martin Lasua picking it up from the back and feeding the winger Lautai. Setting it up nicely. And they come through on it. I think it's Smith who's in there. No. It was Lamont. So Keelan calling for it. He's set nicely now. Nice work there by young Gavin. Getting through. They still go forward through Vasa Kikakaku.
Yeah, they're not taking the easy option here, are they, the Hawks? They're trucking it up. This is about their 4th or 5th attempt before Walkling puts his foot to ball.
Yeah, nice.
35 metres.
Nice work there by Walkling.
Great exit there from the Hawks. The easy way is just to take the ball off the back of the scrum, go to the 5'8", and you might knock it out 15, 20 metres at best, but they've rucked that out 4 or 5 times before Walkling does a nice kick from the base of the scrum, and they've actually out there outside of their 30-metre line. And looks like someone's down in back play here for the Hawks. A little bit of concern about him.
I think it's Vasa Kick. Is it Vasa Kikakaku? It is Vasa Kikakaku, the fullback. So no one's at home here for the Hawks. As Walkling getting the ball to Lautai. He'll make a break up the centre of the field. He's got Lasua. But Asai goes to ground. They've still got a bit to do. He picks it up. Asai palming one off. Palming Marshall off. Gets a ball round the corner. Delore cleans it up. So now a good chance to counter-attack here. They look to use it, but no, he's met nicely there by Pusey.
Hit him with everything but the sink.
So they're still going here, Southern Beaches. Here's Andrew Delore now. Taken around the bootlaces.
Steve Lamont's been everywhere today, hasn't he? He's been enormous.
For mine, he's probably been the dominant player out there. If I was going to name a man of the match right at this point in time.
Yeah, Eric Basakikakaku was very good early in that first half. Certainly most of their tries have come from some input with him. I thought the winger, Tana Lauto, has been incredible today.
Yeah, Sorelli was good in the first half.
He's come in hunting for work, but yeah, Steve Lamont's been everywhere. And he looks like he's just starting to take his toll. He's put his head down, hands on knees.
The hamstrings are giving way. Yeah, it's come in nicely there. Good throw there by the younger Gavin.
I think Ben Chinchy might have even snuck his way back onto the field in that last break.
So there's Lamb. There goes Wade. Wade taken though nicely. Didn't really get a chance to open up. Gilbert playing the advantage. Very scrappy here at the breakdown. Yeah, penalty and deserved there for Southern Beaches. The Hamilton players just losing their feet, not rolling away. Pretty much everything you can do wrong at a breakdown, they did just then. Coming in from the side, rucking. Don't you miss those days, Jimmy?
Not at all. It's much easier and much better for the body being up here, mate, talking rubbish than being out there mixing it at the breakdown. It's interesting to see that the big Fijian, Seva Robokoro warming up here. Maybe Steve Lamont's not long left for this game.
Of course, plenty of pedigree for that man. You know a little bit about him, Jimmy, if he comes on the field.
Played 4 tests for Fiji. Played in first, second division in France, and also had a stint at Toulon only in 2011. So yeah, a little bit of pedigree about him, but that's
just
for sure.
A bit.
One of 55 contracted players for Toulon, of course, but still just to be in that company. And yeah, 4 years later, he's playing for the Hamilton Hawks.
Yeah, definitely.
Shows you how far the Newcastle and Hunter Rugby Union has come.
I mean, he's no Ivan Walkling. Here's Vasakikakaku. Winds up again. Here he goes. Oh, inside to Lamb. Cheeky little play there. Oh, and he gets a little bit of a get square for the call probably, and that was a good heavy hit there by Vasakika-Kaku, and ball goes forward there.
Just floated
well
forward.
Well caught there by Des Gilbert. Just floated forward. I tell you what, it was almost gridiron forward. And here he comes. He does have a bit of an ankle issue at the moment. Is it Robert Cora coming on?
Yeah, he probably shouldn't have played last week, Scott Coleman told me. That's probably why he's not in first grade today. He struggled with that ankle last week and really didn't have much impact on the game. It looks like he's running with a limp as he takes the field now. So, but geez, he's a huge human being. I think he's 6'4", 120 kilo.
Quick tap taken, but no. Butler. Come back, Butler. It's not the green grass of Ireland here, says Des Gilbert. You'll play on my terms. So Butler again finding touch nicely down the field. Probably thought he got a little bit more distance on that, but a good friend on the far touch.
Yeah, looks like Rhino's over there, the touch judge. Of course, refereed over 100 first grade games. Peter Ryan, the paddle pop line. And the ball coming down. Yeah, steal there from Joe Ackersdyke.
Nice work by Ackersdyke. Just what Hamilton needed at this point in the match. And they go forward again. They have got quite a good buffer now. It's going to be hard for Southern Beaches to get back into this one. Well, Smith juggles it, steps off his right. And he's still going, Smith. Good run there by the English import. And Ackersdyke there to clean up the ball. Does well. He's held up, though, by the Southern Beaches side. Wrestles his way back to the ground as he places the ball nicely on the Southern Beaches man's chest. Percy bumps off one, but taken round the ankles. And here he goes, big Sealer. Another bootlace tackle there by Southern Beaches, who are desperately hanging on at the moment. And here, Ackersdyke.
I think that's the first mistake he's made today. He's another one that's been enormous. And Bartaleva's got a bit of space here.
And here he goes, the big man bumps one off. And it's going to be a knock-on call by Hamilton.
Rob Smith was around his bootlaces.
And it's the correct call by Des Gilbert. It was knocked out of his arm there by one of the Hawks player. Going to be another change here as Vasagotti comes from the field. As we look now, and Vartaleva winds up. We haven't seen him in that much space for a while, and knocked out by the Hamilton side. And good game there by the man coming from the field, Vasagotti. So it looks like Sorelli has moved to outside centre. Or maybe Lautai. Marshall's on the blind side as Vartaleva takes it from the back of the scrum. Good run by the lock. But again, they lose the ball. So now, here they go, the Hamilton Hawks. Chance to put more points on the board. Bakarich goes through. Vasakika-Kaku juggles the ball. Referee says play on. I don't know about that one.
There, yeah.
And Sealer throws the ball forward and he says play on again. So we're going again to Keelan. Keelan. Little chip over the top by Keelan. Bounces up nicely. Bakarich is on the outside. He gets it to Bakarich. Bakarich is going to go all the way, is he?
Just short, I think he's just short.
He's knocked it. He's held onto the ball, I tell you. Bakarich normally gets those ones, Jimmy, but
played on quickly here, Southern
KG
Beaches.
Lamb is running with the ball. Draws, doesn't pass. Gets the ball away, though. Kick on the inside. Touch. Marshall, plenty of pace, but Keelan spoils the party for Marshall. Obstruction there. He gave himself up. Vasakika-Kaku.
Bit unlucky there.
So now Butler with the ball.
Last roll of the dice here, you think. Looks like just about time up, but they can't certainly win this game.
Oh,
Southern Beaches,
Barcelona, good run there.
They can finish with a flurry.
It's worthy of a one-try game anyway. This game has been end-to-end stuff all day. Butler dropping the ball there, so here goes Walkling. Walkling picks it forward. He's got Lamb. Is he going to get there, Walkling? He dives on the ball, and he'll score. The halfback will seal the game for the Hamilton Hawks. And I tell you what, I didn't think he'd get there.
He looked like he had a look around, did he? Think, who's on my hammer here? It was KG Lamb, and I thought, oh, well, he's going to get that easily. But Ivan Walkling found another gear.
He did, didn't he? And
for a man
Lamb looked like he dropped off.
For the man who's got through as much work as he's got through, to still have the energy and the pace and the petrol in the tank to do that in the 80th minute, all credit to him.
So for you, who wins man of the match today, Jimmy, for the Bar TV man of the match as we look at the replay here?
Lamont, I don't think I can go past Steve Lamont. I think he just nudges probably Ivan Walkling and Eric Basakika-Kauku for Southern Beaches. For Hamilton, obviously. For Southern Beaches, I've been very impressed with Michael Delore. Adrian Delore, when he was on the pitch, provided a spark. I think Michael Delore's been very good for them. He took some right options. His defence has been outstanding. Probably the other one for them, as always, is Bartella. I mean, he never has a bad game. He's put off some real big shots, but they just lacked that little bit of polish, Southern Beaches. They had Hamilton where they wanted him, but just that first 10 minutes of the second half, bang, Hamilton hit you with 2 tries. All of a sudden, momentum swings again, and from there, they've been able to control proceedings. But another step forward, I think, for Southern Beaches. They'll be very disappointed, don't get me wrong, but they'll take some positives out of this.
Yeah, they just couldn't go with them, could they, in the end, the Southern Beaches side? A culmination of things, fitness and maybe execution as well, as Keelan comes in for the last time today. He nails that one, Keelan. So the score now, Hamilton 50, Southern Beaches 17. Referee Des Gilbert says there's still a bit of time to play.
Yeah, certainly don't deserve to have 50 points put on them, I don't think, Southern Beaches. It certainly hasn't been as one-sided as the scoreline will reflect.
It's just a case of Hamilton taking their opportunities at every chance they've got this game, and that's another high towering kick, and it's taken well again by Brennan. Touched in flight, so all onside. And here goes Barcelona. Barcelona gets around one. He arms off Marty Lasua. And he's still going, big Barcelona.
He's one we didn't mention, but he certainly has been right up there. He's been
my favourite player.
He's certainly much improved in the fitness stakes from when we last saw him. He's going to be a real danger in this competition
and here they
as
go.
He gets older.
The Southern Beaches Marshall with it. Steps inside Marshall, but the Hamilton Hawks scramble well. They're playing to the death here, the Hawks. And Vartaleeva with it. Still going. Taking the ground. I tell you what, if the game went for 5 hours, Vartaleeva would be doing that at the end of the game too.
He's got a massive motor.
And here goes Lanzini.
Dragged down by Big Willie, so he's taking the field against his old club.
Yeah, goes backwards to go forwards, and here they go. Yeah, Hayden Gavin.
Meter out here, Southern Beach. They deserve to try to finish this off.
They're still going the Beaches side. The Hamilton Hawks look out on their feet, but they're somehow getting their bodies under the ball here. And here they go again. The Beaches side, they must be close. Held up, says referee Des Gilbert.
And that's it.
And he's called full time. So the final score here, Hamilton 50, Southern Beaches 27. It's been an absolute cracking game of rugby, end-to-end stuff for most of the game. The Hamilton Hawks, better on the day, took the most of their chances, defeating the Southern Beaches, as we mentioned, of course, in this greater NHRU Round 3 catch-up round. Of course, there are other sponsors associated with the NHRU, NIB, Viatech, Tui's Tulloch, and, of course, my partner today, Jimmy Gardner, who's left us now to get all the exclusives for the Newcastle Herald, which you can buy on Monday. We're going to take a quick break now and get the man of the match.
At the Greater, we're always on your side. We've got this winning lineup of products and services ready to get you over the line. To kick goals for your finances, contact the Greater. Proudly supporting Newcastle and Hunter Rugby Union.
story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Real guys, real sport. Bar TV.
Australia's leading sports organisations have made a pledge to tackle youth binge.
Yeah, with us now, Jason Killen. Good game today, Jason. The boot wasn't too good, though.
No, it's a bit off today. But I'll just blame it on the balls. It was a bit flat.
Yeah, very good. Chip and Chase came out as well.
Yeah, I was seeing a bit of space. Thought I'd just have a throw it out a bit there.
Very good. So,
Anyway.
so where to next week? 50 points. I tell you what, you can't get much better than that.
Oh, 60? Nah, I don't know. Just keep the defence going, I guess. That's the main thing. Defence wins the games, I think.
Yeah, congratulations on the win.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Yeah, so that's it. Bar TV's match of the round. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Of course, catch the delayed broadcasts coming up for you over the weekend, the June long weekend. Thank everyone for tuning in to the greater NHRU match of the round for Bar TV Sports. I'm Gareth Wazick, and I'll see you again next week.